Between the Pages, possible by Words and Pictures, located at 2610 Center Street Northeast in Calgary. For all your comic book, anime, toys, and more, stop by Words and Pictures. You'll be glad you did. This episode of Between the Pages is brought to you by Red Skull Comics offers the best selection of comics and trade paperbacks in Calgary, with a great selection of manga, games, magic cards, toys, statues, and a whole lot more. Want to be sure your collection is up to date? Then ask the friendly staff about their file services. Need more room for that growing collection? Then ask Red Skull about selling your back issue titles. 18 years and still going strong, Red Skull is the best little comic shop in Western Canada. Visit Red Skull Comics today at 720A Edmonton Trail Northeast in Calgary. Then find them on the web at www.redskull.com and like them on Facebook. Alchemy Apparel, the place to shop for pop culture, with a wide selection of t-shirts, hoodies, backpacks, wallets, belt buckles, bobbleheads, pop figures, and more. T-shirts of the Avengers, they got that. Star Wars bobbleheads, they got that too. Batman belt buckles, hats or wallets, you can find all your favorite TV, movie, video game, and comic book icons on everything in the store. Head down to Alchemy Apparel in Northland Village Mall and Sunridge Mall today. Be sure to follow Alchemy Apparel on Twitter and Facebook. There we are. It is another fine Saturday afternoon. This is episode number 14. And I am your host, Richard Cleveland. Yes, I am. At least that's what my lower third says. I was last week, and I think I am this week. We've got a great lineup for you today on the show. We're talking about some animal pets. But first, before I get to that, we're going to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, my co-host, Mr. Jason Bishop. Fanfare. And joining
Thank you,
us,
Richard.
Yeah, and joining us on Skype today, who's with us?
Cody Carmichael.
Cody Carmichael's with us on Skype today. Say hi, Cody.
Hello, I'm the comic noob today.
You're a comic noob today. And now Cody was too shy to put his camera on because he says he's naked from the waist up. So he's just going to be the voice that interjects every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm sure nobody wants to see me without a shirt on.
Live from the Phantom Zone.
Live from the Phantom Zone. There you go. So getting on to things today, we've got little news to talk about. We've got a great show lineup for you. Like I said, we're going to be talking about pets or animals. I shouldn't say pets. I'll say animals in comic books today.
Yeah, a little bit of anthropomorphic.
There you go.
There we go. Action going on today.
Today's kind of a very kid-friendly, family-friendly show.
Yes.
So if you are a family man or family woman or family person,
and you're a vegan or vegetarian, you should be okay with this episode.
You should be okay with this
Personally,
episode.
I think vegetables are what food eats, but
yeah. No. Food is what vegetable eats.
yes.
You had it wrong. You
No.
said vegetable is what food eats.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I got it wrong.
My food eats vegetables.
That's true. That's very true.
I got it right.
Couple things I want to talk about real quick as part of the news today. Oh, look at all the stuff's falling out. Coming up August 23rd to the 26th, I would be remiss if I did not mention this because it is one of Canada's premier events. It is Fan Expo.
Toronto Fan Expo, August 23rd, 2026. And you know what? I wish I was going to this one. I am super stoked John Carpenter's going to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Patrick Stewart at our own show, and Stan Lee's going to be there. I mean, there's some big names there, but I am really jazzed about John Carpenter.
Yeah, me too. I'm also actually pretty excited that Rose McGowan is going to be there. Oh man, she's just like smoking hot.
Yeah.
David Prowse is going. He was here. Gillian Anderson from the X-Files.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool.
Dennis O'Hare, American Horror Story, which
I'm a big fan of that show.
I don't know if it got picked up for another season.
It did.
It did.
It's going to happen
excellent.
in an asylum this year. Spoilers.
Spoilers. Chris Sarandon's going to be there this year.
Cool. I didn't see that.
Yeah, Chris Sarandon, who was the voice of Jack Skellington from the Nightmare Before Christmas movie. And he was also the vampire in the original Fright Night.
Oh, that was him. That's
that
right.
That was him.
him.
Yes. There's some great artists coming as well. Jay and Silent Bob Live will be there. So Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith are doing their show live from Fan Expo that weekend. So if you are in the Toronto area and you are looking for a great weekend to spend lots of money and rub elbows with Hobnob, Fan Expo is the place to
Here,
go.
give me that.
All right.
We'd be remiss not to mention some of this amazing lineup of comic book creators. And, man, Greg Capullo, Tony Daniel, Frank Quitely, Addie Granov, J. Scott Campbell, folks, David Finch, Lee Bermejo, J.G. Jones, Steve McNiven, Tony Moore, Carlos Pacheco, and Steve Epting.
Wow.
That's just to name a few. These are some big names, folks. So Toronto Fan Expo, August 23rd and 26th, going to be an awesome time.
Going to be an awesome time. Now, speaking of that, other news, there's not really much to talk about this week.
We had the big release of Astonishing X-Men 51 this week, which was the gay marriage, which we've kind of talked about already, North Star and some dude.
But yeah, his publicist.
And his publicist.
So we got a C-level character who's kind of working his way into a B-level character, getting married to a nobody in comics.
And it has, our disdain for this book has nothing to do with the fact that it's two gay people.
No.
I mean,
No.
whatever, good on you, North Star, but honestly, you do need a publicist.
Yeah. Yeah, boy, does he ever.
Nobody knows who you are. You weren't even one of the cool members of Alpha Flight. I'm sorry.
He's a jerk.
He is an asshole.
He's a jerk.
I mean, he makes Namor look nice.
Yeah. And we all know how much of a jerk Namor is. And you know what really bugs me? Is he's a jerk and he's Canadian.
And I mean,
so that makes us all look bad.
Yeah, he's making us all look bad. We have a bit of a rep to
yeah, that's right.
uphold of us being the nice guys. And really, just to let you guys in a little secret, don't tell anybody. We just want to throw you off your guard.
That's right. Hey, you know what? Mayor Bloomberg approves of gay marriage in comic books.
Well, I'm glad he took a non-committal political stance on that. Maybe he should make that legal in New York rather than a fictional New York.
Yeah, well,
that's just me. I come on, dude, step up.
It's one step forward to that end result.
That's right. We're okay with it happening in a fictional universe.
That's right.
Step up, man. Step up.
That's right. Just go that extra mile.
Yeah.
We're talking about animals in comic books this week. But first, I want to thank one of our sponsors, Red Skull Comics, located at 720A Edmonton Trail, Northeast here in Calgary. You can find them at redskull.com. That is REDDSKULL.com. And I want to quickly mention that they are having a special real soon with the 9 covers of The Walking Dead number 100. Oh yeah, I'm still on you. All right, so now we're back on me. See, I get confused. On in-store July 11th, which is coming up very soon, you can pre-order The Walking Dead number 100, all 9 covers, $45, and you also receive a poster when you go all the way and get the whole package. So go down and check out Red Skull Comics. Also want to thank Gorilla Printing, who helps us each and every week with the printed side of our world, with business cards and bag stuffers and that kind of stuff. Gorilla Printing, GUIR? Something like that. Gorilla Printing. Just look them up on the web. It's gorillaprinting.ca. And I hear a can of air in the background. That's got to be coming from Cody.
Yeah.
Cody's letting out air.
That's right. He's opening a can of delicious Crush.
Yes. You have the grape and I have the orange today. So we have Crush.
Actually, it's cola, but it's okay.
Okay. We have Crush. So we're going to talk about animals and comic books today. I'm just going to go to our double shot that people don't like. So we fancied it up today.
That's right.
We fancied it up. So
yeah, we got our fun comic book background going today, and animals in comics. It's not a new thing.
No.
I mean, it's been going since Mickey Mouse.
yeah, boy, is it ever.
Disney's made a career of talking animals, and we all love Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and I'm personally an Uncle Scrooge fan. All that Carl Barks stuff was really great.
I'm a Darkwing Duck fan.
Darkwing, I couldn't get into that one.
Love Darkwing Duck.
I like Tailspin.
Tailspin was good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was a Jungle Book guy too. I liked all that Jungle Book stuff.
It's the bare necessities, the real bare necessities. That's about all you're going to get.
Yeah, okay. We'll save the musicals for a different show.
Okay, we'll do a musical show in comic books one week.
Musicals and comic. Oh, we could too.
All right, so first and foremost, let's have a look at some of the stuff that's out there. We're going to start off with Stan Lee's got a new universe, and it's just for kids.
That's right. It's kind of a line of books. It's called Stan Lee's Kid Universe, and a couple weeks ago we actually saw Monsters versus Kittens being released, and it was just adorable. I would have brought the book in for you guys, but it's sold out. And it was so fun. I'm cute, and there's gonna be like pretty much a book or two a month from this line of stuff, and it looks pretty great. I also brought a copy of Hero Pets in, which was brand new this week.
Oh, cool!
So
yeah, that's on the same line
from
it.
That's
from
right.
His,
That's also Stan Lee's Kids Universe.
Yeah,
and,
you bet.
this stuff's pretty great stuff. It's definitely. Obviously kid friendly, and I don't like to say kid friendly so much as all ages.
It's
books.
all ages family. There you go.
Just because it might be intended for children, I think it's going to be awesome for anybody. So pick that up for your kids. Read it yourself.
What's the cover price on that?
The cover price on these are actually very reasonable. I'm not sure what Monster vs. Kitten was, but this one's $8.99.
There you go.
So. Not a bad price tag on it. $8.99 US.
So check it out if you are if you're into some fun.
Yeah, I mean Stan Lee's got his finger in a lot of pies.
Got a weird sense of humor,
and man, it feels like he just doesn't say no. But he's the Walt Disney of the comic world. So
just not as
some of it works, some of it doesn't.
Some of it works, some of it doesn't. Yeah, I was going to go into the whole. I'll stay away from the Disney-esque stuff. The Walt side of the world. I could get it.
Well, in a way, Stan's almost a brand of Disney's now.
Yeah.
Now that Disney owns Marvel.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
So what else do we got there? You want to talk about Capstone Kids?
Yeah, let's bring that up. I don't have any of that. Is that this stuff?
That's that stuff.
Oh, that's this stuff. I couldn't remember who published this stuff because I keep thinking it's DC, but it's not. I'm going to hold these up. This is just a couple samples of what Art Balthazar and Franco have been working on. The Tiny Titans crew have been doing these wonderful Super Pet books. And, man, there's a ton of them. There is absolutely a ton of these things. Yeah. And they are adorable, and they are super, super fun. All the great stuff you'd expect from Tiny Titans. It's definitely a young reader's kind of storybook style.
Yeah.
But fantastic stuff.
I want to run down some of the characters here. I'm just going to go to their website.
Sure.
So here are some of the major characters you're going to find in this line of books. Ace the Bat Hound. Now, they've kind of done the real sort of cartoony, child-friendly sort of Ace the Bat Hound. I really like it. I think it's kind of cool.
I love that they got Beppo the Super Monkey in there.
Beppo the Super Monkey, I'm like, freaking out about that because I'm thinking that's like so cool. I almost want a Beppo here in the studio. Oh, wait a sec. We could if
nobody gives our ape a name.
That's right.
Since you brought it up, I'm going to quickly make a sidebar. We do have a contest running for called the Name the Ape contest. It's going to be running for one more week. And we have a great prize pack for you, a Spawn prize pack, as well as a rather large X-Men hardcover, Rise and Fall of the Shi'ar Empire.
About 10.5 pounds.
And, we're talking about a $60, $70 price tag on this prize pack. So if you want to get it, you need to come up with a good name for ape that we like. And if we're not crazy about the names that come up, we're keeping it. So get out there, give us your names, and you can win that.
All right, so let's move on to the Green Lantern Squirrel. This is not Chips the Squirrel that we're familiar with.
No.
This is, it looks like Bidet.
Yeah, I don't know this one.
Bedog.
Yeah,
Bedigi.
It should be Chip. I miss Chip.
I miss Chip, too. But they've got a squirrel.
Maybe they felt a little bad when he passed away.
Maybe. Then they have Comet the Horse, who obviously is a Superman horse. Gleek the monkey from the Wonder Twins. I'm glad they brought Gleek back.
Yeah.
Jumpa.
I actually thought Hanna-Barbera owned that. I didn't think that was a DC character.
I don't know. Then we have Jumpa. Owner is Wonder Woman. Why would Wonder Woman own a kangaroo?
I don't know. That's just weird.
Crypto the dog, another one of Superman's pets. Oh, I should say Comet was actually Supergirl's dog or horse.
Yeah.
Then we have Streaky, which belongs also to Supergirl. She's got like a whole barnyard of things going on there. Storm. Storm is a seahorse, and there's only one guy that would have a seahorse, and that is the surfer dude himself, Aquaman. And last but not least, What's It, which is the Flash's turtle.
And we know that's just the start of it. The two the one I brought was the Flash turtle, but we did have Bat Cow.
Yes, we have
in
Bat
the one
Cow.
I showed, and on the back here I'm seeing a robin that is a robin.
A robin?
It's kind of a stretch, but and then there's the I think Hoppy was the Captain Marvel bunny.
It could be.
So I mean that's
hopping hero Hoppy.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of more characters being brought out in this line of books, and again these are fantastic. And written by John Sazaklis, this particular one, and all of them are illustrated by Art Balthazar.
Yeah, great artwork. I mean, it's fun. It's one of those things that's really, really fun.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're a fan of Tiny Titans, you're probably going to dig this. Your kids will dig this. And he's also working on Superman Family Adventures now that Tiny Titans has come to a close. So,
yeah, that's cool. That's awesome.
Great stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so what else we got in there?
Okay, well, let's see.
Let's see.
I'm going to get off I mean, this is still a kid-friendly book, but this is more of an all-ages book. It's by Robert Kirkman and Jason Howard, and that is Super Dinosaur.
Super Dinosaur #1.
And this is the first trade paperback. So he's been around for a little while now. Great artwork. Inside, as you can see, look at that big monster, dude. So
with the city on his back.
With the city on his back, it kind of invoking that turtle from the Xanth books.
Oh yeah, that's right too. Yeah.
So it looks like a great kind of action adventure superhero style kind of story. Definitely young boys are gonna dig it if you're into like something like Ben 10 or something.
Right.
I think this is gonna be right up your alley.
And that retails for what?
And this first trade paperback retails for $9.99 US. It does come out as single issues as well, which are the traditional, I think, $2.99 US. So check it out every month from Image Comics.
Very cool.
And, because, Robert Kirkman, he's a nobody who needs a little bit of a push.
Right. Yeah,
well, Walking Dead.
Robert who?
Robert who? Walking Dead, Thief of Thieves, also two very well-received books.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure you are all watching Walking Dead on AMC each and every fall, so check out.
I suppose I should be, but I'm not.
Everybody tells you to, and then, the box set for Season 2 should be out in a couple months here. So
Okay, that's cool. Now, we've got the Avengers up next, or are we going to save that?
Well, I don't know. I want to hark back a bit.
Okay, you want to get to my favorite animal superhero.
And he's certainly one of mine as well. Was one of the first non-Disney guys, and I think it was that Disney kind of look he had.
Got his own movie?
He got his own movie, which is kind of heralded for its awfulness. But
directed by Ron Howard, right?
No.
Who directed that one?
George Lucas.
Oh, George Lucas. I thought Ron Howard had something to do with
but you know what?
That movie.
Howard the Duck.
Yes.
I liked the movie, damn it. I'll admit it on air. I liked the movie. And Howard is still one of my faves.
Mine too, actually.
I didn't like it when Disney forced him to Marvel put pants on the guy, but maybe we'll get the Howard we all love back now that Disney actually owns the character.
Yes.
So
there we go. There's one of my favorite covers. Howard for President. And during the Carter era and assassination attempt on the cover of that Daily Bugle newspaper that he's busting through, Howard the Duck. This was #8. When Howard hit the newsstands, man, I thought this was the greatest book since Batman.
And it was kind of a subversive little book.
This was Donald Duck with an attitude.
More of an attitude.
No, he's just mean in the
Yeah.
other show. This is, a duck with an attitude who carried a gun if he had to. He had
Smoked
no problem.
cigars.
Yeah, smoked a cigar. Had no problem kicking people where it hurt the most.
Yeah.
And even in the movie, they kind of captured a little bit of that, although they put pants on him.
Yeah.
Leah Thompson played his love interest.
That's
in the
right.
movie,
Might better know her from the Back to the Future movies.
right? As the mother. Yeah. So kind of cool. Howard the Duck been around a long time. There's talk that they might be doing another Howard movie.
And honestly, that could fly. I hope they animate it. I think that's one of those things they've tried in live action. I don't think they're going to try it again.
No.
But it's Disney, so I'd like to see somebody like Pixar do something with that. Wouldn't that be cool?
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Or have him. Maybe they'll retcon him, and he came from the universe of Donald and Mickey and Uncle Scrooge into our universe. So I don't know. They could do some fun things with Howard, especially now that Disney actually owns it, and we can get back to the character the way it's supposed to look. And man, we had Kiss made their first appearance in comics in Howard the Duck.
That's right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I mean, Howard's had some good runs, and it was definitely a popular book in the 70s.
And he also fought alongside Conan and
oh man, he's been all over the place. He's
yeah.
had some of the wildest stories. He knows the X-Men, the Avengers.
Yeah,
yeah.
So it's and in his world, they have all these superheroes, and we're gonna get to that real soon. But they have all these superheroes, and they are all different animals from his world,
right?
Or Duck Trillion, or I can't remember what they called his world, but
his Duck universe.
The cool thing about him, my older brother Raymond, who huge comic book fan, just like I am, he made a T-shirt one time with, remember those paints that you could paint on T-shirts?
Oh
with?
Yeah,
the Trichem, I think they were called. Yeah. He actually did a printing with all these paints of Howard the Duck on a T-shirt, and it said "Duck you, bud."
Excellent.
But I wish that T-shirt was still around. It was a one of a kind.
Yeah.
What about you, Cody? What do you think about Howard the Duck? Cody left us.
We lost.
Never actually watched it. Actually.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's
You're missing
a shame.
out on a good one, man.
You're gonna have to,
or a bad one.
You're gonna have to look on the net for Howard the Duck.
Yeah, read the wiki and then
go see Howard the Duck.
Go on the iTunes and
see if I can find it on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
Now,
find a very legal way of doing it.
The last image we have, but we don't have a book for it. Before we get to those, is an image of Angry Birds.
Oh wow, yeah, there's Angry Birds comics, folks. Angry Birds really took modern society by storm. This is just a sample of a fan comic, but man, there's actually quite a few Angry Bird books out now.
It was hard to find really high quality images.
Yeah, and they're kind of I've flipped through them. They're kind of like the DC Super Pets books and that storybook appeal. And lots of them out there. I was actually shocked when I saw that, and when we were looking up stuff, we found Angry Bird Jujubes. Yeah,
Angry Bird Jujubes. Now, being a Jujube fan as I am, and that's how I've got this nice, wonderful.
I'm not fond of Jujubes. They get stuck in my teeth.
I love them, man.
The svelte figure that you have.
Yeah, that rotund figure I have. What about you, Cody? Angry Birds. I know you're an Angry Birds player.
I've played it, but I've kind of not played it in a while. So,
well, you can now play it on Google Chrome. It's an app on Google Chrome.
That's crazy. It's everywhere now. You can't get away from it now.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
But Angry Birds, one of those things that making a leap from an app, which was first and foremost a portable game that you could play on your iOS device.
Yeah,
or
just
your
a very
device.
Simple physics game. And oh man, it just went crazy.
It just caught on, and now the merchandising on it is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
they got their own movie too.
Yeah, they're in progress to do a movie.
Yeah, I'm just
no. They already had one. I thought
terrified.
It was Angry Birds Rio.
Oh no, that's actually another game.
That's another game.
Yeah.
They did a movie on it too, I believe, though. I thought.
Oh.
I could be
well,
wrong.
I'm unaware of this.
If anybody in the chat room knows about that, or anybody watching the show that's not in the chat room,
Why aren't you in the chat room?
Yeah, why aren't you in the chat room? And you should join us at naked8prod.com/watch live, or just hit the watch live button when you get to the page and join us over there and jump in the chat room, and we'll have some. You can
Interact with us.
Interact with us. That's, people are saying we have no interaction with our chat room. That's because nobody's in our chat room.
That's right. Come on, get in the chat room and we'll talk to you.
So what else we got?
We'll get a few more things. Sometimes they'll have a book out, which is a superhero book, and then they'll throw the animals in there. So this is just one of them, the DC Super Friends book. It's not being published anymore, but there are trade paperbacks still available of this issue, these books, and I just grabbed this because I like the cover, and there's Base and Streak, Ace the Bat Hound, Streaky and Crypto and Beppo and that weird kangaroo.
That weird kangaroo, yeah.
And an octopus.
Wonder Woman's kangaroo.
That's right. Save that one. Marvel Apes, and we here at the Ape Nation really like our apes, so that's a pretty cool cover. And Marvel Apes was just a fun ape universe of the Marvel.
Who did that book?
Let me find out for you. This was actually one of the retailer incentive covers.
Now,
I grabbed.
would you say
this was by Carl Kessel and Ramon Box?
Okay. Now, would you say that's a family-friendly book or more of a mature reader book?
I'd say it's somewhere in the middle. I think it's a nice all-ages read.
Okay.
I did read some of the shorts that they did, and it's certainly all-ages friendly. It's kind of harkens back to the books from the 80s that I grew up with. I mean, comics are for a much more older audience than they were when I was a kid, so comics grew with me, but this is kind of more of a throwback to days of yore, so
cool.
pretty cool book. Now this one's had a nice history at Marvel. Spider-Ham. I wish I could have grabbed one of the older ones, but this was a one-shot special mocking some of the more recent trends at Marvel, most notably the Ultimate Universe and the Civil War storyline.
There you go.
And I mean, Spider-Ham was a big '80s thing. This cover was done by the late Matt Ringo. But wow, look at this list of people. The story is by Michael Hamzinski. So they've even changed the names of some of our
favorite writers and artists.
That's right. Penciling by Mike Ringo, Mike Manley, Nick Dragotta, John Severn, Scotty Young, Jim Moffat, Ariel Olivetti, Clayton Crane, Lawrence Campbell, Chris Giruso, Todd Knock, and Robert Campanella. And Sean Phillips.
That's a huge lineup.
And they're all huge artists in the industry.
Okay, open that book. Show up some interiors.
All right.
Got to show some interiors.
Here's a nice riff on the Nam, but this one's the Ham.
The Ham, the Nam.
All right. Yeah, it looks like it's starting out like Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. There's nothing I love more than the smell of napalm in the morning.
There's a quickie by Scotty Young.
Wolverham. Okay,
he looks like he's eating a few hams, actually.
Well, that's look on his claws there, because it's is that considered cannibalism?
I think that's a steak.
Oh, come on, there's some sausage in there.
Well, we won't speak of his orientation. Oh yeah.
Green ham. There we go.
So I'm not sure what happened to the eggs, but
it says and eggs.
Green hams and eggs.
This is great stuff,
look at
man.
all these. Oh, Clayton Cranes is crazy.
If you don't know this cover, you are not a comic book fan.
No longer. Yeah.
The original cover done by Jack Kirby, right?
Yep.
Did the original cover for this Fantastic Four that this is based on. And story was by, of course, Stan the Man Lee. And that was Fantastic Four #1, was it not?
That was.
So there you go. And then Spider-Ham.
Let's actually show some Spider-Ham, and he's stealing thought balloons.
That's kind of strange.
Really?
And then
because nobody uses them anymore. They went to the caption boxes, so he's gathering all up the old thought balloons because people don't use them anymore.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So there we go. There's Spider-Ham for you. We got all kinds of.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy. One of their big characters was Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon.
There's Rocket right on top of Cap's shield there, and yeah, Rocket was cool, and he made his first appearance in the Incredible Hulk.
That's true. He did.
Let's see what else do we got here. This is one I grew up with. I really thought was cool.
Captain Carrot
and the Amazing Zoo Crew. This is a miniseries called The Final Arc, and there's Pig Iron right there, and over here, Fastback, and they had a lot of animal versions of the DC characters, as well. And they even had their own little Crisis back in the day. So I thought this was a great
Now, is this Grant Morrison doing this?
No,
this is Morrison, Shaw,
it is
Gordon.
Scott Shaw and Bill Morrison, who's done a lot of Simpsons work.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And let's see. Lockjaw and the Pet Avengers. So we've got the Thor frog there, and Zabu, the saber-tooth
Thor
tiger.
as a frog. Let's just contemplate that for a second.
And this was part of one of the most memorable runs on the title when Walt Simonson was doing the book. Writing and drawing that book.
Now that's cool.
Yeah, so that's where Thor.
And some great interior art in this book, and it's not a full-size graphic novel.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a collection of material.
Okay.
And it retails for $14.99 US.
So some great art inside the book. I love that. I love that frog, man, dressed as Thor. That's
They've really
great.
done a nice job of that, and I think Devil Dinosaur's in here. I think that cat we had on there was Speedball's cat.
Right.
I don't remember the name of the cat, and Kitty's Dragon Lockjaw's in there. So great stuff. I mean, Marvel's got their own thing going on with that. So, and the kids are eating it up. And this is it's taken a whole life of its own now.
Yeah, Madagascar.
And this is the Penguins of Madagascar, and Madagascar 3 being the #1 movie in the box office right now. Minute. Yeah. So Madagascar.
Penguins of Madagascar are awesome.
There you go.
There you go. Look at that, a glowing endorsement from Cody.
That's right. Our comic book noob.
Yeah, watch the show.
There you go. I've only seen a couple here, and I have seen the first 2 Madagascar films, and they're great. They're really wonderful films. So
yeah, they're very cool.
But I haven't seen too much of the cartoon, but
the cartoon's making quite a headway apparently.
As far as I know, they're actually working through the 3rd season on Nickelodeon.
Our producer
Leslie just pulled up this page with the Thor frog kind of smashing stuff, and I got to say, I want a poster of that.
That's
here in
awesome.
The studio.
That is a very awesome thing. So, Marvel, if you haven't made a poster of this, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
I got to tell you a quick little story. Seeing the frog when I was a young man, a wee lad. Friends used to call me Froggy, and that was because I used to collect frogs all the time, and I'd take them because I thought it was cool to take them to girls and impress them with frogs. Unfortunately, it was
How did that
not.
work out for you?
It didn't. So yeah, young men that are starting to become interested in girls. Well, I like you on the screen. Young men that are starting to become interested in girls, do not. And I stress this, do not collect frogs and give them as a token of your affection, because it just doesn't work.
Unless you know for a fact she likes frogs.
That's right.
Yeah, if she's got some sort of weird frog fetish, then go for it. But
no warts. See, no warts.
Yeah, my brother touched one frog, when we were children. And,
really?
Man, he fight with those warts. To this day, they still come back. And he blames that one frog. It has nothing to do with that
It has nothing
frog,
to do with frogs.
He still blames the frog.
Okay, so now that we've kind of talked about this, we would be remiss if we did not talk about another ape in the DCU, and that is Gorilla Grodd.
Yes, well, I mean, not every animal out there is a good one, and Gorilla Grodd and Monsieur Mala, both bad gorillas.
Yes. Gorilla Grodd being the most prolific and most famous.
Yeah, although
of
Monsieur
those.
Mala, I mean, I'm not sure if his being French has anything to do with him being evil, but
No. And rounding out the apes, we would be remiss if we did not mention Detective Chimp.
oh wow, Detective Chip, easily one of the coolest characters around DC. Got to revive him a couple years ago with the Shadow Pact, and
Right.
he's been dancing around some storylines, and hopefully he'll have some sort of place in the new 52 at some
I
point.
hope so. I mean, they brought him back for Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
He was in several episodes of that animated series.
They're just reintroducing Grodd now in the Flash storylines.
Right.
So if you're not reading Flash and you're a Grodd fan, it's in there right now. So go check it out. His reintroduction to the DC universe is happening right there.
Hey, speaking of animals, we were at the Calgary Expo, and we came across some great folks from ARCS. And I got some footage of that. I want to run that real quick.
Sure.
And then we'll get into our comic review. So stand by, everybody. Here's a talk that we did with folks from ARCS. So I'm here with Megan from the AARCS. What can you tell us about your organization, Megan?
We're an organization in Alberta that rescues and fosters and adopts out dogs. We also do advocacy for them as well. A lot of the times the dogs that we get in are in need of medical attention, so we do oftentimes have to either get rid of mange, once in a while amputate a limb, and spay neuter them, all that kind of jazz.
Now, you adopt them out through the Calgary Humane Society, or is that through an independent organization?
No, it's all independent. It's all completely run through us. We adopt 100% of our dogs out through our organization.
Oh, excellent. And how can people find you and take part in your organization?
They can find us on the web at www.aarcs.ca.
Excellent. Now, you've got some friends with us here today, I see.
We sure do.
And tell us who we've got here.
We've got Whistler down there and Misty, and they're doing very well. And we've actually got Eliza over there too. So we have quite a few little buddies out here, but we do have a total of 160 dogs in our care right now.
Wow, so you need people to come by and help you out.
We sure do. Adoptions, fostering, donations, whatever we can get, we'll take it.
Excellent. Well, you heard it here first. AARCS, if you're looking to adopt a pet, check them out. They've got a great lineup of pets, and they have pets that need really good homes. So from between the pages, go down to the AARCS and help them out. So there we are, a little piece on ARCS. And if you are interested in adopting a pet and you want to go through a little different channel, I suggest that you go down and talk to the Alberta Animal Rescue Crew Society. That is ARCS. And you can find them at www.albertaanimalrescuecrew.com, or you can call them at 403-804-4334. So check them out and help them foster, adopt, volunteer, or donate. I'm sure they could use your help.
And for you guys who aren't Calgary-based, check out your own local animal organization and rescue, SPCA, and help save an animal.
And as Bob Barker would say, spade and neuter your pet.
The price is right.
The price is right. So let's get into our review of books this week. Which one do you want to start off with? Wild card? Okay.
All right.
So that's the one we're going to start off
Well, we're going to start with Avengers vs. X-Men #6. Round 6. Fight!
Fight!
And,
Fatality.
you know, this we've had a change of artists now. We are on to Olivier Coipel.
Yes.
And I'm hoping I'm getting his name right. I'm not sure if it's Olivier or Oliver. But
I think it's Olivier.
I think it's Olivier. And great art. I mean, I'm a huge Coipel fan since his cross-gen days. And,
Hickman writes this one, right?
Jonathan Hickman's writing it, but again, it's co-plotted
Right.
by the Jason Aaron, Michael Bendis, Brubaker, Fraction, Hickman connection. But Hickman's doing the heavy lifting on this one.
Okay.
And for me, I got to say, better than the first 5 combined.
Well, okay. I'm going to say this. I mean, I enjoyed the first 3 books. I thought they were building nicely. And then when 4 and 5 hit, especially 5, I thought that 5 left us all kind of flat. but 6 kind of knocks it out of the park and really brings in some of those threads of storylines I think we're going to see in the Marvel Universe very, very soon. Not to be a spoiler, spoil, if I got that right.
Spoilerson?
Yeah, spoilerson. We are going to see Iron Fist make a return to the Marvel Universe, I think, in a much bigger way than we've seen him in the last few
he's
years.
been an Avenger for a while, and we know if you've been reading the Avengers books, they've been mainly doing Iron Fist stories in there, and about the Iron Fist legacy and the connection to the Phoenix Force.
Right.
So, no shocking surprise here that he was going to start to play a little bit heavier parts. It still hasn't come to fruition here, but it's starting to show. So his character is going to definitely be taking a big step up later in this storyline, and it's very evident in this book. We see a really interesting almost juxtaposition to the old Miracle Man, Marvel Man storyline happening with specifically Cyclops. He's got all this power now and wanting to use it in a beneficial way for the world, and some of the world, specifically Avengers, are questioning the motives and
the long-term ramifications,
and the long-term ramifications, and whether they'll be able to maintain this. We always see every time the Phoenix Force manifests, there's always that start, and then the power corrupts.
Yeah.
An interesting story arc there, although I thought he looked like Nightwing with a mask on.
Kind of,
you put the two together, and man, he looks a lot like he's just went into Nightwing's closet.
But there's a great line in the story that says, you don't need the visor anymore, do you? And Scott looks to the person he's talking to, and I'm not going to say who he's talking to because it's kind of a spoiler, and says, "No, I just keep it on for the look."
Yeah, and it's so people still connect to his humanity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think what they're trying to do in this book is great. I think they're now starting to really kind of bring this whole story into a nice, neat little package. I hope they don't screw up the ending.
Now. My big complaint of this storyline with the big scope of it all was, okay, well, it started out with Civil War.
Right.
And essentially, we got two superhero factions with a difference of opinion, neither one of them wrong.
Right.
Civil War. By the end of number 5, I'm like, okay, we just gave these powerful characters more power. That feels like Fear itself. And I got to say, they dashed in a little of another one in here, and I almost don't want. I'm actually not going to tell you what the other book is, just because actually is fairly spoilery for the ending of this book. But I got to admit, they used it really well, and by that last page, I was like, so 2 weeks looking for number 7. Looking forward to number 7.
Number 7 in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Now, I quickly want to touch on AR.
Yes. Before we get to that, did you read the Infinite thing that went on with it? I didn't get a chance to read it.
I did not.
There is an Infinite.
I didn't take the code off because we're giving away the book.
There is a code at the end of all the $3.99 books, and specifically there's the sticker there. And as you can see, we'll give away that book, and you can still use the code. But if you redeem your code, you get a digital copy of the book on your various digital devices. Also, this comes with what they call Marvel Infinite story, and it's a free special digital only story that you get along with this. And as always, during this series, we're starting to see this spill out in other books. It does come with the Marvel AR app. Application usage, and we got a little bit to say about the AR app.
I'm going to rant here just for a second or two. The AR app, to me, has been buggy right from episode 1, or from issue 1 of this series. It's been buggy ever since they launched it. Some pages don't quite work. Marvel, if you're listening,
don't work at all.
Smarten up. Get it right.
Yeah, if you're going to do this app, make sure it's working before you start rolling out books that use it.
A great idea.
Yeah.
It's just not being
And we're starting to
properly.
see AR spill out elsewhere.
Oh, yeah.
There's this wonderful comic in Europe. I don't know the name of it, but it's makes the Marvel AR app look like its retarded cousin. I mean,
Yeah.
it is very impressive. And if anybody was following E3 this couple weeks ago, they're rolling out a thing called Wonderbook for
Yes.
the PlayStation 3. And essentially, it's a children's book. You hold it up, and all the pages come alive. And the first book is a J.K. Rowling Harry Potter universe book, and it teaches you how to do spells. And it's really impressive, and it's starting to make you look bad, Marvel. So,
Oh, yeah, big time.
Step it up.
Yeah,
Step it up.
Marvel really has to get off their hiney and
You
I
can't launch
use the
it.
word hiney.
You can't launch this really great addition to a read and then not maintain it.
Yeah, that's right. And not again. I've been through other books that it doesn't work at all.
Yeah, I've actually done quite
The
quite
AR
a few
code's been
now.
on other pages. It doesn't work at all, and
Yeah, I've stopped using it because it's
a waste of time.
waste of time.
Yeah. So AR in Marvel books, Marvel step it up, get it fixed, make sure that it works before the books launch, because it does go to Marvel Comics to get all that AR footage,
and
you need a wired or wireless connection on your
and I was
device.
really impressed with it. I like the addition, this kind of special features, or in the case of the Avengers versus X-Men versus book that we had a couple weeks ago, number 3, they used it as a translator for the Russian.
Right.
So I mean, there's neat ideas happening here, but you got to make sure it works.
Right.
I mean, if I get in there and I'm trying to translate and then it doesn't work, well, now I don't know what anybody's saying.
There you go.
So,
all right, so that's what I want to say about AR. I'm not happy with it right now, and Marvel's got to step up, and I think you feel the same, and anybody that's been using the AR probably is in the same boat. So let's move on to our next book, and I'm going to hold this one up because it really doesn't have a cover. And this is Mars Attacks #1.
And this is cover number 55.
55, yes.
There are a total of 58 covers, and the 55 of them are, each one of them are covers representative of the original cards that came out through Topps.
There we go.
So there's your pictures of all those covers, and there were 3 new ones produced for the series.
Yes.
And this is from IDW in cooperation with Topps Corporation, bringing back the classic 60s property and that nice cheesy 50s sci-fi feeling stories. They are very much indicative of that, and they are maintaining that feel. And John McCrea is doing a really wonderful job drawing these. It's picture perfect for what the book is trying to get across.
You know what I liked about this book is that the artwork, like John McCrea's artwork, has that horror element to it.
Yeah.
It also has that comedy element to it. And he tells the story really well visually in this book, even though it's kind of a collection of little stories that kind of thread through one another.
Yeah, they're actually trying to kind of utilize the cards to tell a bigger story. So they'll do these breaks, and then they'll show the picture of a card as a chapter break.
Right.
So that was kind of neat. Really mindless fun for the most part. There's certainly nothing deep about this book. But it's mindless fun, and it's certainly a wonderful guilty pleasure. IDW's got a lot of other cool books launching.
Yeah, there we go. Kind of spoiler. This fall.
And The Crow launched as well this week
Right.
from them. So IDW's got a lot of great new properties launching, and Mars Attacks is just one of them. If you're a fan of the film or the previous comics from Topps about 10 years ago,
Right.
You'll probably enjoy this. Like I said, there's nothing overly special about it. It's fairly derivative kind of storytelling. But guilty pleasure if you enjoy that genre, that sci-fi kitschy stuff. You'll dig this.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Now, last but not least is from DC's Bag of Tricks. This is Before Watchmen #1. Oh, I guess I should put it back on me. Before Watchmen #1, The Comedian. Loved this book.
Totally. I mean,
Brian Azzarello and J.G. Jones collaborate on this book. To me, out of the 3 that have been out so far, Minutemen, Silk Spectre, and the comedian. I think comedian by far is my favorite.
I didn't think somebody was going to beat out Darwin Cook for me, but Azzarello nailed this one. I was telling you off camera, and I'm going to say this on camera. I kind of was welling up at the end of this one. It made me a little teary, and I mean, you can see the Kennedys in there, and this is, for the most part, a personal story of the comedian reflecting on his relationship with the Kennedy family. And,
he had quite the relationship in this book with the Kennedys.
Right. And
like very good friends with John and Bobby
and the things Jackie O gets him to do. I don't want to say what. And there's for you Watchmen fans, I think there's a bit of some changes to the Watchmen mythos happening in this one.
A little bit.
Nothing that harms the story in any way, shape, or form. This was a really great read. I can't wait for the next issue of Comedian. It hit me emotionally, and the art's impactful.
Oh yeah.
Some of the best stuff Azzarello's written, and Azzarello's can be kind of doing things here and there, and last we saw him was on the first wave that nobody read,
no.
Which is unfortunate because all that Duck Savage stuff and those first wave books were really, really good. Softcover coming out of first wave is actually, I think, just out now, and I highly, highly recommend that book. It's one of those ones that should be on your must-read shelf right next to Dark Knight and Watchmen and V for Vendetta. Unfortunately, it just got overlooked because all these characters appeal to people over 50.
That's true. Now, you and I being old enough to remember, the Kennedy story and
well, I wasn't around when Kennedy was around, but
well, I was. but
I saw the Oliver Stone movie.
Yeah. In any case, I kind of thought that this book, we see Jackie O in a completely different light. I mean,
we certainly do.
I mean, we all know Jackie O through the media, or most of us do, as being this very sweet, wonderful woman. Man, in this book, she's right vindictive.
Oof, off camera? Oh my God. You don't get on Jackie's bad side.
No, don't. The other thing you and I were talking about over dinner last night was the fact that they're running music through the beginning of all of these books.
Yeah, all these books, music played a very big part in what Alan did, and again, they're very careful to pick music.
In this one, it's The Wanderer.
Yeah, and it's they're very careful to pick music that is appropriate for the story they're trying to tell.
Right.
So pay attention to that. There's a lot of those subtleties are in there. I mean, this is something that Alan built, and people are the writers are trying to maintain that flavor. So Alan's influence is certainly in there, but this definitely reads more like an Azzarello book.
Absolutely.
Than a Moore book, and I'm glad they're using their own style and voices rather than trying to
emulate something. Yeah,
Alan Moore's style.
Work, yeah.
So it works. It was a great read. So far, the best so far out of a very strong line of books. I know you weren't crazy about Silk Spectre, but
no, I wasn't really crazy about it. I mean, to me, it felt like a love story, and I'm not going to rehash what we did last week. But at the same token, I mean, if you put all these together, so far they're starting to flesh out.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry, the Crimson Corsair story's not catching me at all.
No.
But in 2-page snippets, I'm not getting any sense of the story, so I may have to revisit that one when this is all over and reread those pages, and then I'll give you a proper review on Crimson Corsair, because right now, once a week, 2 pages, I'm getting no sense of story whatsoever.
And out next is Owlman, which will be in another week.
Night Owl. Night Owl will be next Wednesday.
Yes, and we'll be reviewing that on next week's show.
Yeah.
Now, just before we get to
I think that might be Straczynski's book, too. I'm not sure who writes that one, but I think that might be one of Straczynski's. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on to what's coming on the shelf, we have a couple of people still yet to thank for the day. And first and foremost, we want to thank...
Words and Pictures, who provides us all of our review books, and they're located at 2610 Center Street, Northeast, Calgary, Alberta. Phone number is 403-282-8870. They have file services, games, toys, Magic the Gathering, subscription services, you name it, they've got it. And if they don't, they'll certainly bend over backwards and try to get it for you.
And finally, we want to thank Alchemy Apparel, located at... Northland Village Mall here in Calgary, as well as Sunridge Mall here in Calgary. They have all of your geek apparel that you're looking for. If you're looking for stuff from television series, movies, comic books, you name it, they got it, from belt buckles, T-shirts, backpacks, all kinds of stuff. They got some brand new stuff that have just come in. They've got the caped shirts for the ladies. So if you're a Batman, Superman, Robin, and I think there's one more in there. I can't remember which one it is. But there's a Wonder Woman. They all have little capes on the back. They're little tees for the ladies.
And if you want a little sampling, watch last week's show where Richard and I are wearing our Distressed World's Finest jersey shirts.
Yes, they have the jersey shirts.
They were very slick shirts, and I'll probably wear that one again.
So cool I'm gonna wear mine.
That was very comfortable too.
And the Ninja Turtle backpacks, which are leather backpacks.
I gotta hit that.
Heroes in a Half Shell.
Check that out because I'm very curious to see what those look like.
Yeah, they're very cool. So Alchemy Apparel, located again at Sunridge Mall and Northland Village Mall here in Calgary. And if you want to friend them, you can do so on Facebook at Alchemy Apparel. So check them out. Go down and check out, if you're in the Calgary area, what they've got in the store. And we thank them for all their support here at Between the Pages and Naked Ape Productions. And now, what's new on the show?
Okay, well, like I said, it's just the highlights because, man, you can't go through them all. But let's see. We got Angel and Faith number 11 from Dark Horse. Your usual batch of DC book number 10s. This week we've got Aquaman number 10 and Justice League number 10.
Oh, very cool.
So some couple of really big books. Let's see what else we got here. God, can you believe Batman's in a 5th printing already?
Wow.
I think Justice League's in 8th printing. Before the Watchmen Night Owl we just mentioned, so you've got your regular covers, your combo packs, and your retail covers, or so if you're Manic completist, lots of variants for you on that one.
There you go.
What else do we got here? Fatale number 6 from Image. It's a big one for Marvel's Icon line, Hit Girl, spinning out of Kick-Ass.
Nice.
So that's number 1 of 5, and bringing back Mark Millar and John Romita Jr. on that book. And
that's Miller.
Mark Millar or Miller?
Miller.
Miller?
Yeah, it's Miller.
He
even says Miller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's just tired of people mispronouncing it. And speaking of Alan Moore, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen Century number 3, 2009. Cool. So finally completing the Century trilogy, and that will be out Wednesday. So really good one there. Manhattan Projects from Image. I think that kind of rounds out. Spider-Man from Marvel, number 2.
Number 2, we reviewed number 1 last week.
Yeah, we reviewed number 1 just a little while ago. Man, that's coming out fast.
Yeah, it is.
And Superman number 10, Wolverine the X-Men number 12, and X-Men Avengers versus X-Men tie-in. And that pretty much rounds out the highlights.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, lots of cool stuff there. Want to know more about the show? Check us out on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Tell your friends to like us on Facebook. Don't forget, we do have the Name of the Eight contest running to the end of the week.
Yes.
And then it's done. It's over. We'll either pick a winner or pick our own name and do whatever we will with the prizes if you do not get your stuff in. So
that's right.
Get your names in. Win that terrific prize pack. Follow us on Twitter. We do have a Twitter account there.
Naked Ape Prod.
Naked Ape Prod. Naked_ape_prod.
You bet.
And
if you miss the show, if you're not available, be around for our live show, which is every Saturday at 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Then you can also find us on the web and watch the show after the fact over at nakedapeprod.com/betweenthepages. And there's the URL right down there on the bottom of the page.
That's right.
And check it out, and we'd be happy if you leave us a comment. You can also find us on, what is that place? YouTube.
Yes, we're all over YouTube now, so check us out there as well.
Check us out on YouTube.
But we'd rather you come to our page to do it.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling a bit generous and you want to skip that coffee and donut, drop a few cents or even a couple of bucks into
In
our
our tip
donate
jar,
button, our tip jar. Join the Ape Nation and help support great programming. The programming will always remain free, but there are costs to running a show. So, if you're feeling generous, help us out there. And if you can't donate, click on one of our sponsor buttons and help us out that way. That would be cool of you.
And if you want to show
our
your
Ape Nation
pride,
is awesome.
if you want to show your pride, you can go to our
right.
Cafe Press store and get one of these funky. I don't know how well my shirt's coming in. Let me go.
Oh, that's a great shirt.
There we go. Yeah, you can get our nice Naked Ape logo
And,
on a shirt or a sweatshirt or some underwear or mugs.
Your iPad covers.
iPad covers. Yeah, iPod or our iPhone covers. Mouse pads, whatever you want.
Yeah,
I mean, there's lots of stuff there.
There's
Go
lots
check
of
it out.
options there. Very cool stuff. I dig some of the jackets were looking really cool too. So check out the Cafe Press. And I think that kind of covers all of the plugs we got. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm jbishop616, and you can follow me in my ramblings over there as well.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can't. Because I'm not there. I spend most of my time on the Ape Nation Twitter, so that's Naked Ape Prod or Naked Ape Productions on Twitter.
And I ramble on both, so you never know which one you're going to talk to.
That's right. Naked Ape Prod is our Twitter handle, so go over there and hashtag us or do something with us. We really enjoy you folks tuning in each and every week to be a part of the show, and we really are looking for more people to jump into our chat room, be a part, ask some questions. You can do that during the show while we're live. If you can't be live, that's okay too, because you can always check us out on our website as well.
Please feel free to leave us comments. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you dislike.
That's right.
And let us know. We're going to start lining up some guests and let us know who you might want to see on the show. And we also got some extra surprises in the works for you as well, including a brand new show
coming
soon.
Yes.
And it's all about a different kind of pop culture. So
it is.
Well, we'll start trickling that stuff out slowly over the next few months.
Let us know what you think when you start to see it.
Yeah, when you start to see it and we're ready to go. So keep in tune, and I'm gonna do it this week.
What are you gonna do?
We'll see you
between the pages. All right, so that's our show for this week. Thank you very much once again. And bottom line is, check us out, hang out with us, send us email, send us letters, do whatever you want. If you don't like us, tell us that too. We don't mind that. I can take some creative criticism.
I'll look at it and then I'll ignore it.
But before we go, before we fade to black, I have to mention that guess who's my friend on Facebook now? I'm so proud of this.
Okay, go ahead. You're all aglow.
I am. Brian Dennehy.
Brian Denny.
One of my favorite actors. Him and I are friends on Facebook now.
That's very cool. I mean, I didn't even know he was a comic fan and followed the show, but thanks, Brian, for checking us out.
Thanks, Brian Dennehy.
And maybe we'll have you on the other show if you're up for it. If you're open to some Skype interaction, drop us a line.
You bet. All right, so there we go. We got some guests coming up in future shows, so stick around. And that's it. We're fading to black. Have a great day, everybody. We're going to come back with the post show, and it'll be kind of a short post show this week. So
gotta run.
See you next week.
Take it easy, everyone.